Happy memories captured on a home movie. A production of Grease, a high school musical made famous on the big screen. Do you recognize anyone here? 25 years on, The One That I Want is in another stage version of a hit movie, only this time he's getting paid for it.
What happens to men when they grow old?
It's a bit different from his childhood in southeast London, in the shadow of Millwall's football ground. In fact, sport is in his blood. His cousin was a hotshot with Arsenal. Our man's own first love was roller hockey, and that led to his first appearance on television. Later, he became a regular on the BBC's Casualty, but tonight he's at the Orchard Theatre in Dartford with an actor who's done more plays than he's had hot dinners, and that's George Sewell.
Ah, Michael, George, are we all set? Sweet as a nut. He hasn't got the faintest idea. Excellent.
The curtain is about to come down on tonight's performance of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, the perfect title. Good evening. Pardon the interruption, but guess who I'm asking to an after-dinner party? The invitation reads, tonight, Patrick Robinson, this is your life. Well, here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Greetings from friends in the business, including Gary MacDonald and your co-star George Sewell from the Orchard Theatre, and family led by your sisters Lorna, Sandra, Angela, Sharon, Michelle and Charmaine, and your brother Tony. And with your children Charlotte and Jordan, your wife Janice. Now, Janice, before we get too nice, of all Patrick's many attributes, timekeeping isn't top of the list.
No, it isn't, Michael. No, one of the reasons that I wanted to get married in the Seychelles was so I could be sure that he would be there on time. And last year he sent me a bouquet of flowers in July with a card that said, Happy Valentine's Day, I was on Jamaican time.
Well, at least you were in good time for that wedding in the Seychelles, and that was on January the 19th, 1993, when you were already on our screens as staff nurse Martin Ashford in Casualty. So let's give your career a quick checkup.
Come on now, Alexander. Where's this picture we're going to paint me? I can't keep telling that bird to stand still, can I?
I'm packing this in.
What? Why not?
It's not exactly a great job. I'm always broke.
Aren't we all? Barry Longthorne. The neighbour's kid saw him fall from the Penwith Bridge and ran to tell his mother. She's positively ID'd the body.
Excellent.
Almighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure?
So, Poppy and Barley, the little badger cubs, have started on their journey back to the wild. But we'll have to leave Ollie the barn owl for now, nursing his broken wing. It's turned those dreams into reality. You sang reality, yeah.
That's called soul.
It's too much.
Patrick, you were encouraged in your dreams to be an actor by all your family, not least the boy your Auntie Nesta gave birth to just 3 days before you were born. Nesta, we've met before. Just remind us who your boy is, or do you want to phone a friend?
No, it's okay. Ian Wright.
And he is here, Wrighty himself, your cousin, Ian Wright. Ian, apart from this passionate embrace, you were close to Patrick, weren't you?
Yeah, we were very close when we was younger. But I used to pick on him a bit. I can't pick on him now because you can see he's filled out a little bit more than me. But I used to pick on him when we was younger, and there was one particular incident where we was fighting. I always picked on him. People used to say, hit him back, hit him back. He wouldn't hit me back. And I was hitting him, and my finger accidentally caught in his mouth. And, you know, he bit me for... he bit me for a long time, and after that, we was friends all the time. I didn't pick on him too much after that. But when we used to play football, we used to play football for the same team as well. And they used to, like, if he missed anything, like, the guys would come to me afterwards and they'd say, oh, he's rubbish, he's this and that. And I say, hey, he can do Shakespeare, man. I say, how many of you lot can do Shakespeare? My cousin does Shakespeare.
Well, everybody seems to do everything these days because Ian has muscled his way into showbiz and you have had a go at his game. A few years ago, you pulled on your boots to pitch in for the comic relief team. And here's a word from another red-nosed regular, Ainsley Harriott.
Hi, Patrick. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. And, hey, just look at this. I thought this might bring back a few memories for you. Balls to Africa, comic relief. Remember all those years ago? And what about that for a photo, eh, mate? All arriving in Burkina Faso. Do you remember the capital, the name of the capital? Ouagadougou. Sounds like an 80s boy band, doesn't it? It was a very, very special time. It formed a friendship that I think is going to last a lifetime. Have a great evening, mate. Enjoy yourself. Love to Janice and the kids. Bye.
So, Patrick Robinson, this is your life. There is an early portrait. You arrived on the 6th of November, 1963, just missing the fireworks, but there's still plenty of action at the Robinson home in Dartford, southeast London. You're the 5th of 7 children for Len and Gloria Robinson. Your parents separated when you were 9 and your mother moved to America, where sadly she died 6 years later. At first, your father struggled to raise the family on his own.
And the biggest problem was feeding time.
With your stepmother, June, your father, Len. So, Len, you must have felt as if you were running a restaurant.
Being a father, cooking for them, they love my cooking, but I have to get a helper to help me with the cooking. One evening I was coming home and I saw them all sit on the step waiting for me to return to cook for them because they love me cooking. They do not love the lady cooking.
June, your food did pass the test.
Oh, yes. Patrick quite happily ate my cooking. One of my earliest memories of Patrick as a little lad was this little chap lying on the bed reading the Times newspaper. I just could not believe it. Well done, Pat. Congratulations.
Well done.
You go to Lucas Vale Infant and Junior Schools in Dartford and then on to South East London Boys' School in nearby Lewisham. You're a bright student, but all you really want to do is act. What inspired that?
I don't know. I suppose, like to get the applause and the reassurance that you're doing something good. So, you know, I realized I was good at it and I wanted to do more of it.
That's fair. Tony, you're not surprised that your brother became an actor?
No, not really, because being an older brother, and he was young coming in my bedroom, like, he used to admire me play my music, but all I could see is, turn that noise down, bruv, please, I want to watch the TV. And that's where we got the inspiration from. And I said to myself, I don't think he's going to be like me, like music. I think he's just leave him, let him go on with his acting, really. And I just let him get on with it, really. And I said, don't make nothing stand in his way, you know?
So you joined the school drama group, and one of your smoothest performances was in Greece. The Robinson clan squeezed into the school hall to see you in the lead role of Danny Zuko.
And yes, Pat, I was one of the T-Bird gang.
He was there, your school pal Danny Johnson, with your English and drama teacher Irene Bishop. So, Danny, take us back.
Well, I've known Pat for a long, long time now. It's primary school, obviously drama. Best performances are Zuko. Do you remember the time when we bleached our jeans? Went to Orpington, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah, we looked pathetic.
Irene, you have a different memory.
Yes, I was Patrick's form tutor and English teacher for 5 years. He was in a class of 33 boys. They're all great boys. And I used to give a present at Christmas, a little eraser or ruler or pencil. And Patrick always got his for being the most gentle boy in the class. And he was a very good boy, a very bright boy. He did his O-level English a year early and got the highest grade. Very proud of him. And I didn't see him for about 12 years after he left school. And then 4 years ago, I came back from shopping and my husband said to me, close your eyes, I've got a surprise for you. And he led me into the kitchen and said, open your eyes. And there was Patrick. And he just said, thank you, miss. And that's what every teacher dreams of. And thank you, Patrick. Very proud of you.
Well, back to football, because you're rather useful at that. You play for Sidcup Town and you have trials with Welling. But as it turns out, football is not your ticket to fame. But in 1980, another sport does throw you into the spotlight. The area around your home in Ashmead Road is taken over by new craze, roller hockey. You're one of the founders of the Ashmead Cruisers. The combination of hockey on roller skates and the colourful kit makes the game a television natural. You even feature in a car commercial.
Ooh, it's got an it's the coolest car by far. You can have 5, and it's slick. And boy, is that quick. And you'd better believe it.
Recently, I know you've been thinking about having a team reunion. Well, have this one on us. 21 years on, the Ashmead Cruisers. Now, Harry Diggins, you helped form the Cruisers. This wasn't jolly hockey sticks, was it?
No, do you remember the nights we used to, you know, stay in bleaching our jeans, putting the stripes down them, actually cutting out hockey sticks out of plywood? Yeah. We got a lot more professional after that, but you gave the team a lot of inspiration and made us move forward. You were a good captain.
Mickey Evans, you've flown in from Sweden to be with us tonight. You all had special names.
Yeah, of course. There was Harry H. Diggins, Frank T-Shirt, and Donald Swan. But of course, the strange one that I could never get past was P. What was that all about?
It wasn't a social comment.
Okay.
Frank Thompson, the team was big news down your way.
It was very big news, actually. It was a strange thing, because a lot of people thought Ashmead was an actual place. They didn't realise it was a street, which was really strange. But got to the stage where the Cruisers started to go abroad. But it's been good, yeah, it's been good. It's been good playing Pat. So.
Well, another co-founder of the team was Frank's elder brother, Donald. Tragically, on Friday, June the 21st, 1986, just 5 days after you were photographed with him, Donald died in a car crash with Winston Hilton, another member of the team. Because you and Donald were always together, everyone thought at first that you had been the passenger. It was a terrible time for everyone involved, especially Donald's mother, Doll, and, of course, Winston's family, because Donald was your best friend.
Well, the first friend I had on Ashmead Road, and we were very close. We were very similar. He was born, a day later. So we were very similar in the way we were, and we liked the same thing. So, yeah, more or less, closest friend we had at the time.
You leave school in 1982 with the idea of being an architect, but soon you admit to yourself that it has to be an actor's life for you. Comes the exciting day when you get your first work in the business.
Yep, and you became Postman Pat.
From Roger Roger, it's Philip Glenister. So, Philip, it was a starring role straight away.
No. No, we worked for Robert Stigwood, who was, at the time, probably one of the biggest film producers in the world with Grease and Saturday Night Fever. And we worked in these incredible offices in Mayfair, but we were given kind of the basement and put in charge of the franking machine, which was handy. And basically, Patrick, it's interesting what Janice was saying about your timing, because Patrick used to go on errands. Well, we both had to go on errands, and he'd go out on a Tuesday, and by Thursday week, we'd be lucky if we saw him. We'd have search parties going around for him, but the Royal Mail's loss is the Royal Shakespeare Company's gain. Good on you. Thank you.
While toiling away in the bowels of the post room, you still dream of life at the top. You apply to LAMDA, London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. You get the thumbs up and you start a 3-year course. It's September 1983 and you're 19 years old. Now, you weren't the only one from your group to succeed on television. Q, former Bill regular Hugh Higginson, Andrew Castell from Shelley, and one-time minder Gary Webster. I told you need to be very fit for drama classes.
Well, he was very fit. The only thing I can say is dance classes, because Pat was fantastic at dance. I had 2 left feet, and I also had bust knees. I have to say that Patrick also has the most infectious laugh of anyone that I've ever met. I used to collapse on the floor with his bust knees. He used to go into absolute hysterics. The whole class went into hysterics, and him and me used to get kicked out. Pat, thank you for getting me out of the dance classes. That's all I say.
And Andrew, Patrick showed his versatility.
Yeah, absolutely, because we did a tour when we were at drama school, and we were in Holland, and I don't know if you know, but they have bars backstage there. So I was sitting at the bar having a drink at the time, and I heard my own lines being spoken, but better than I'd ever done them. And so I rushed up to the stage, and it was Patrick just coming up. He'd done my part for me.
Gary, Patrick learned to mind his P's and Q's.
Yeah, obviously, when you go to drama school, you know, I'm from London, Pat's from London, to allow you to do the Shakespeare, you know, they try to get your accent into order. And obviously, this is where Patrick and I differ, that he came out of LAMDA after 3 years with a beautiful, rich accent he has, and I've got this one I'm talking with now.
And very nice, too. Thank you. You leave LAMDA early when you get an exciting offer to join the Royal Shakespeare Company. Other Royal Shakespeareans then were Jenny George and Sean O'Callaghan. Sean, you were brothers in arms.
Yes, it was our first jobs, and we had quite small parts, but Pat was understudying Romeo, and the actor playing Romeo was ill, and he had the chance to go on, and it was a stupendous performance. He brought the house down, really moving.
In 1990, word from the RSC reaches BBC television, and you're cast in a flagship drama series.
All right, enough's enough. Break it up.
I'm guilty until proven innocent, apparently. Heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
Well?
Not guilty.
During your time as Ash, one of the heroes was that nice Dr. Julian Chapman. Nigel Vaillant played the part, and he's on that screen now.
Pat, Janice rang me the other day,
and asked if I'd say a few words about you. And I said, Janice, you know, I hardly know the man. It was terrible working with him on Casualty, and I've never liked him. She said, I know, but I can't get anybody else. I said, well, who have you asked? She said, everybody. Everybody. Well, I felt a bit sorry for her, you know. So I said, well, what do you want me to say? She said, well, just say, you know, that working with him on Casualty was one of the highlights of your life, let alone your career. That in times of stress and in times of hardship, he's always been one of the very truest friends to you, and that you love him dearly. I said, all right. So here goes. Working with you on Casualty, Pat, was one of the highlights of my life, let alone my career. In times of stress and hardship, you've always been the truest of friends to me, and I love you very dearly. You think that'll do? God bless me. Have a good night.
Some more medical memories now from Donna Kroll and Paul Oscar Anderson. Donna, you were obviously very pleased to join that team.
I was very pleased to join Casualty. It's a great team. And on our days off, we'd go shopping, us girls, and come back with sort of gewgaws and knickknacks that girls go shopping for. And I'd come in with stuff, and Patrick would say, where'd you get that? I want them for my wife. I thought, blimey, where can I find a bloke like this? Still looking.
Another part you played to perfection was Cupid, but this was in real life. Karen Drury, you can back me up on this.
Yes, Patrick literally changed my life. He and a close friend, Jane Gannett, hatched a plot. They thought Andrew and I should meet, that we might find each other quite charming. We did. 2 weeks later, Andrew proposed, and we're getting married in June. So thank you for so much.
And if you're looking for somewhere to hold the reception, your friend Jane Gurnett knows just the spot.
Hi, Patrick. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm lucky to know you as an accomplished and charismatic actor. I've seen you be fantastic in things. Splintered Thing's my favourite. And to quote somebody, I can't remember who it is, you ain't seen nothing yet. Patrick, Janice, Charlotte, Jordan, have a great night. And love you lots, all of you.
Now, as well as pacing the corridors for 6 series of Casualty, you make a couple of hospital visits of your own for the best possible reasons. First, for the birth of your daughter, Charlotte, in 1991, and then your son, Jordan, 2 years later. Charlotte, do you remember the first time you saw your father on television?
Yeah, well, I was about 2 or 3, and when I first saw my dad on the TV, I used to get up and walk over to the back of the TV and say, how did he get over there? How did he get in?
Jordan, what's it going to be for you, actor or doctor?
I don't want to be an actor or a doctor. I want to be a football player and play for Manchester United.
Well, Patrick, in 1998, you helped to mark a special anniversary. It was 50 years since the former troop ship, the Empire Windrush, brought the first Caribbean immigrants to Britain. Celebrations include a concert at Alexandra Palace, and sharing the stage with you was broadcaster and politician Trevor Phillips. So, Trevor, Patrick played a key role.
He did. He narrated the original series, and I'll reveal something which he doesn't know, because we listened to maybe 50 different people. What Patrick doesn't know was that the competition here was me, actually, because if we hadn't found the right person, it would have been me. But I knew it wasn't quite right. Anyway, fantastic voice, and he did the series proud. So, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. You're nothing if not versatile, Patrick. Last year you were in a TV caper, Daylight Robbery, and to complete the change of image, you embraced the world of sitcom with A Many-Splintered Thing.
OK. OK.
That'll be the vicar. Take your trousers down and get in the wardrobe.
Well, pucker up again, Patrick. He's here for another helping, Victor Maguire. So I imagine that scene was a first for you both.
Well, that's the story put around at the time, and we'll stick to it, but... No, it was great working with you on Splintered. You pitched the part of Piers to perfection, mate, as you always do. And as far as the kiss goes, I've had better. But not many.
Earlier this year, still looking for different challenges, you're in the supernatural thriller series Headless, directed by Tony McHale. Now, tonight I crept up on you while you were taking your curtain call at the Orchard Theatre, Dartford. Guess who's coming to dinner is the classic tale of a black man's first encounter with his white girlfriend's parents. Playing the father was George Sewell. George, you found Patrick a good dinner companion.
Oh, indeed. And I have to say, one of the most accomplished young actors I've ever worked with. He doesn't look as if he's giving a performance or acting. He just is that person. And in the second act, there's a time when he gets really mad and harangues his father in a long speech, and you can hear the audience listening. It's quite remarkable. Oh. Marvellous.
George. Wow. In 1998, Patrick Robinson, director, went behind the camera to call the shots on his first film called Monument. Didn't take much to persuade friends to take part. One of them you've described as an inspiration in your career. He played your father in Casualty and repeated the favour in Monument.
They pulled my report. The one about the slave ship? Is that all? I worked for Channel 7 for 5 years and they treat me like a child. Pops were meant to report the news that appeals to everyone in the region. And they act as if black people didn't live here until 1980.
And he's here for you, Oscar James. Oscar, you're happy to be a father figure.
I must say that I'm moved to think that he would ask me or ask my advice about his career, because I will do anything for this guy. I love him so much, and I'm very honored that you allow me to have a part of your life. But it's one thing we want to say, you know, sir. Next time, can I be the son and you be the daddy? It's a deal. It's a deal.
Patrick Robinson, this is your life.
Cheering up a cockatoo who's down in the dumps at the animal hospital in 10 minutes on BBC One, after the midweek National Lottery draw next. And on BBC Two, Diane Keaton stars in the film comedy Baby Boom.